Hello and welcome to GrossiMath.com, where math is for everyone. Today we're going to be solving question 39 from the 2017 Algebra 1 STAAR using the TI-Nspire calculator. So let's get started. Okay, so here we have a table and we have some equations, and if you're looking for a way to just get this problem done because you're somebody who maybe panics on tests or anything like that, this strategy is probably a good way for you to get that done. The first thing, if you're a test panicker, is to realize there's a small pattern on the STAAR. Usually when they break the equation, or they break the word problem into two sections, section 1 up here and section 2 down here below the table, usually you can focus primarily on the question part. You don't really have to read all the stuff at the top. Okay, now down here I can see it says, based on the table, which function, a function is an equation basically, can best be used, best means the closest fit, to model this situation, and model also means a match. Okay, so we're trying to find an equation that's going to make these numbers work. Okay, and the most important thing to realize here is that I have x's on the left and I have y's on the right. Okay, so basically I can start thinking of these as ordered pairs. In other words, and that's what a function is, I put in an x and I get out a y. I put in an x and I get out a y. Okay, so let's take a look here at what we can figure out based on that. Okay, so using my TI-Nspire, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to press, well, one other thing. If we have numbers that we're going to put in and take numbers out, we can do a strategy that they call GRT. And I'm looking over there because I can see what I'm writing over there, but you guys are over here, so it's very, sometimes I have to look over there just to make sure I'm writing in the correct space. Okay, so let's see. Anyway, GRT. Okay, so that's the calculator strategy we're going to use, and I'll explain it as we go. So we're going to take our first function here, and we're just going to go to the calculator and press Control N for a new problem, and we're going to always choose the word no. If it asks us a question, we have to choose no. And then here we're going to go to the word graphs. So that's the G of GRT. So let's cross those off as we go. Graph. Number 2 is graph. Then I'm going to press delete. And number 6 says relation. That's the R. So number 6. Okay. Now the T stands for the word trace. Now we cannot trace the graph if we don't have the graph. So here we have to type in our function. Okay. Oh, actually I made a small error here. You know what? We don't have to type it that way. We can just do this. We can put Control N. In fact, we don't need the R. Okay, we can put Control N and go to graph. And here, look, before this always happens to students, and I'm glad it happened to me here too. Look at these little symbols right here: H of T, H of T, H of T, H of T. Okay, so what does that mean? When I have a letter in parentheses and a letter, well, if you look closely at your calculator screen, let me zoom it in here for you. You can see that I have here a letter and parentheses and a letter inside. And right there, I can just change this around. I can change this so that it says H on the outside, which is exactly what we want, right? So I'm going to go into the calculator here, and I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to change that to the letter H. And you can do the same thing on your calculator. Okay? Now the letter inside the parentheses has to be X, otherwise the calculator is going to give you an error. So it has to be X. So guess what I'm going to do on my paper? Yeah, hopefully you guessed that I'm going to change those letter T's to letter X's. Okay, so right here that T is changing to an X. That T is changing to an X. Let me do that a little more clearly. Yeah, here we go. That T right there is changing to an X, an X, an X. And we're going to go all the way down the list, changing those T's to X's. Okay. I would recommend actually doing it with your pencil if you have the STAAR in front of you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and type in the first equation. So I'm going to put negative 0.8. And let me zoom the calculator in again so you can see. Well, actually, I'm just copying in the first equation. So maybe I don't have to zoom it in yet. X squared plus 201.1 minus 21.9 and push enter. And now I have nothing. You can see that I did not get a graph here. Well, that's okay. That doesn't mean anything. If you cannot see the graph, it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means it's not on your screen. So what I can do is push menu 5, 1. Well, actually, let me show that one more time. That's the T. So that let me go back to that. The letter T stands for the word trace. So here I'm going to press menu. The trace is the number 5. You can see it right there. It says trace. And let me zoom that in for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Just in case if you're not able to see that, you can now see that option number 5 clearly says the word trace. It's right there in the blue. Right. Let me show you here. There we go. Right there in the blue. It says trace. Okay. And then we're going to go to number 1 for graph trace. Okay. So what did I press for trace? Well, I pushed menu 5, 1. And because I want to put numbers in and get numbers out, I need to press enter, escape. So what did I press? I pushed menu 51, enter, escape. Okay, so now here I have my ordered pair, just like we talked about. And what I'm going to do with that ordered pair is I'm going to just start putting the numbers in that I have in the table. And you can see right here that the first number is a 3, clearly, and it should make the number 1288. Or something close to 1288. Remember, we had the word best in there. Okay, it says 172. Well, that's way off. That's way, way off. So I cannot accept that. That's not going to be my best answer. Okay, so now what am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to go into the calculator and I'm going to change. We're going to do the exact same strategy again for choice B. So I'm going to go Control N. I'm going to press no. I'm going to go to the graph. That's the G. Now, do you remember what to do? Go back and change that F1 into H. Why H? Well, because that's what's on my paper. Do I change the letter in the parentheses? No. I leave it as a T. Or I'm sorry, as an X. I leave it as an X. And then I'm going to go over here and copy in this one, choice B. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. Negative 0.2 x squared plus 985.6x minus 0.8. Push enter, and I have a new graph. And what am I going to press now? Well, I got to do my trace. Remember, I have to do trace. So I have to do my trace. So that means I'm going to press this sequence again. Menu, 5, 1, enter, escape. And once I get there, I have my little point again. And then you just go on top of the 0. And for that part, I'll zoom again. I go on top of the number 0. I click it twice. And I'm going to change the first number to 3. And what's it say? It says 295 E plus 3. Oh, that's perfect. We can learn a little thing here. So here I have 295 E plus 3. Well, what does that mean? It means, or 2.95. Well, E plus 3 means move the decimal three places to the right. The plus sign means go to the right. If it was a minus sign, I would have to go to the left, but it's clearly a plus sign. It means move it how many places? Plus 3 means to the right by 3. Plus 3 means to the right by 3. So 1, 2, 3. Well, this is weird. I have a blank space here. Well, that's okay. Anytime you have a blank space, you just put the number 0. Okay? And there it is, 2950. Does that match 1288? Not even close. So now we know, hey, B cannot be correct. You see? So if you see that little E3, remember, you have to just write that number down, move the decimal, the number that it told you. Plus means move to the right. So to the right, how many? By 3. Why 3? Because just there, it says move it to the right by 3. Okay. So there we go. That takes care of choice B. So now we're going to do the same exact strategy one more time. And hopefully we're getting to the answer here because this is turning into a very long problem. Okay, so if you're still watching, because this has turned into a long video, but that's okay because we're covering a lot of good stuff here. We're going to do our same strategy again. Control N. We'll put no. We go to the graph. We go back. We change F1 to the letter H. And here I have my third equation. Then I'm going to just copy it in. Negative 1.9 x squared plus 432 x plus 9. And then I do my trace. Menu 5, 1, enter, escape. Okay, so this one had a lot of good practice in it. I like this. This is nice because we got to go through all three answer choices here so far, and you've seen everything a bunch of times. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go on top of that 0, and we're going to change it to the number 3. Remember, to go on top of it, you just go with the little hand. That's an important thing. Go with the little hand and just make it hold the number. See how it looks like it's pinching it? You can also change the y's, but we don't want to do that in this problem. But you can go right here and change the x's by clicking that twice. And there you go. And now I just change it to the number 3. Sometimes it takes a little practice with that. The Nspire is a little finicky about that. But you'll get used to it, and once you do, you'll see that it's very easy for you to do. Okay, so now I see 1.29. And it says E3. Well, what does E3 mean? Remember, positive 3. Positive means move it to the right. By how many? By 3. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead. What do I do with the blank space? You're right. I put the number 0. Okay, so 1290. And look at that, 1288. Wow, that's close. Okay, so let's take a look here and see if we can try one more number just to see if that looks correct to us. The number 6 should make 2533. So let's go in and change the number 6, or the number 3, into the number 6. So I'm going to go right on top, grab the 3 once again, click it twice, change it to a 6. 2.53 E3. 253, the decibel's right there. E3 means move it 1, 2, 3, and put a 0. 2530 should be my answer. And guess what? Here I have 2533. So we can see that the calculator is rounding, right? 33 became 30. Okay, so that means that this looks like it is definitely going to be my closest answer. Okay, I'm only off by 3. Okay, so therefore I'm going to choose choice C. And what we can do finally is we can just take a look at the web browser. And you can see that on the browser, it's clearly telling me, let me move it down so you can see it clearly there, that choice C was correct. Okay, and there you go. That is exactly how you solve this problem. Okay, let's turn this off, and we'll put, whoops. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so that's how we solve this problem. Okay, so today, just to summarize, we solved question 39 from the 2017 Algebra 1 STAAR using our TI-Nspire calculator. We used a graph and trace strategy where we graphed each function. Okay, don't forget about changing the inside letter in the parentheses to X. That's very, very important. You have to make that happen or the calculator will give you an error. Also, one major thing to remember from this video is how to trace. Menu 5-1, enter, escape. And then you're going to be able to put numbers in and get numbers out to get a correct answer for just about any equation you can think of. All right, well, thanks for watching this. I hope you learned something today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to click the bell icon and to visit the website where math is for everyone, www.grossimath.com. Have a wonderful day.